welcome to the CIPC webinar on CC member amendments. My name is Shani Kelly, and I'm an education specialist from the Corporate Education and Compliance Unit of the CIPC. I will serve as the moderator for today's webinar. Today's presentation will be delivered by Ms. Petro Engelbrecht and her team, after which a question and answer session will take place. Participants may submit questions via the comment section throughout the presentation. The presentation will be emailed and the recording links will be automatically emailed to all the registered attendees. Attendees who access the webinar through social media platforms will need to access the content directly from the CIPC website. Participants are reminded of the Learn IBIS e-learning program, which is freely accessible via the CIPC webpage. The presentation will now commence. Petro, you may start, and welcome to today's webinar.
Thank you, Shani. Good morning, everybody. Today I'll be talking about member amendments. In particular, this webinar will aim to provide clarity on what is required when we ask for the proof of transfer of members' interest. So legislation that is applicable when doing the CC membership changes is the Closed Corporations Act 69 of 1984. The sections applicable is Section 34 for the disposal of interest of insolvent members and the attachment and sale in execution of members' interest. Section 35 for disposal of interest of deceased member. Section 36, cessation of membership by order of court. And Section 37 is other dispositions of members' interests. So in a CC, when a person becomes a member or ceases to be a member, or when he or she acquires members' interest, or when his or her members' interest is transferred, respectively. Therefore, a member of the CC is not appointed like a director of a company, neither does he or she resign like the director of the company. These are distinct processes informed by different legislations. So the correct wording must be used. For example, a member and not director. A Notice 51 of 2024 was published on 12 August 2024. So it is as part of improving the controls relating to change in membership in a closed corporation. A notice was published on 12 August 2024 that requires a CC to submit a proof of transfer of the member's interest in the CC, indicating the place where transfer took place, date of the transfer, and must be signed by all members and witnesses. So this is the notice that that was published on 12 August 2024, and it contains the information of that I provided in the previous two slides. And then the information that is required on the proof of transfer. The proof of transfer must be a written instrument in a form of either a resolution, minutes, sale agreement, etc., and must include the following information. It must include, say, from whom to whom the member's interest is being transferred, the percentage of members' interest being transferred, the physical place where the transfer took place, the date of the transfer. It must be signed by or on behalf of all members involved in the transfer. If it's signed on behalf of members, power of attorney must be submitted. It must be signed by a witness or witnesses, and the witnesses a name and surname or initials and surname must be indicated next to or underneath the signature. Thank you. That is all the information that I wanted to share with you today.
Thank you, Petra. That was informative. Um, is there any questions that you'll have for Petro that you need clarifying, or you need her to explain any of the information she has presented to you? Okay, let me see your questions. Okay, Kurs says the slides are a bit dim. Um, okay, we will try to make that brighter when we upload it. Of course, the presentation is uploaded on this platform, and if you have registered, we will send you an email with the presentation and the recording of it. Okay, Tandy, how long does a manual member amendment take? Petrol, for you?
A manual member amendment takes 1 working day to process.
Okay. And Chantel's
So,
question is, when we attach the resolution signed by all the members, why do they still ask for proof of transfer?
Chantal, that could be because of the information on on the resolution that does not comply. Um, I will have to look at the individual document that you are talking about. But if you attach the resolution, you should indicate on the resolution from to whom the member's interest is being transferred and the percentage of members' interest being transferred. The document shouldn't refer to directors or to shares that's being transferred.
Okay, thank you for that answer. Um, I'm looking for the other question. Larato, that we cannot share a booklet for you, but the information is on the CIPC website. You can have a look at the website and read about what information that is you require, as well as the presentation is uploaded on this chat. Okay, Chantel's question has been answered. Does the document of transfer that is lodged with the CIPC needs to be certified?
No, we do not require the document, the proof of transfer to be certified.
Okay. Anthony's Anthony's chat is, I am assuming that when you make an amendment, it is done through beneficial ownership.
Okay, no, Anthony, it is not done through beneficial ownership. When you do a member amendment, you submit a Form CK2 for processing. It can either be done electronically, or manually. So electronically, it will be when you submit the changes on e-services, and then you email the signed CK2 with the supporting documents to the dedicated email address. Or if you submit a manual CK2, you complete the manual form and you submit it with the supporting documents via email to manualck2@cipc.co.za.
Okay, Anthony. I hope you got um, an idea of what Petra has just explained to you. If you have any further questions, please log it on the chat. Peter's question is, what is required to replace a sole deceased member?
Okay, so it is the responsibility of the executor of the estate to transfer the member's interest. So in the first place, we'll need the letter of executorship issued by the Master of the High Court and the certified ID copy of the executor. And then we would require the proof of transfer. So where it shows who the executor is transferring the member's interest to. So the executor will sign the CK2 document and will also sign the proof of transfer, and also the person or persons who the member's interest is being transferred to.
Okay. Chantel, thank you for that. I think Chantel's comment is just that all the information needed when supplied on our resolution, or all the information needed was supplied on our resolution. So we used a transfer form as we would use for a company, and it was approved. So I think that she's just giving us a comment over there. Davison's, hi Petro, when dealing with estate members' interests, what is the methodological implementing of the changes when most of the members are deceased, factoring the delays from the master in Section 18 estates?
Okay, so for each member, that is the letter of executorship will have to be attached, and the proof of transfer must be attached from that's signed by the executor, showing who the member's interest is being transferred to. If there's a delay in the issuing of the letter of executorship, we cannot proceed with the processing of the CK2 because we need confirmation from the Master of the High Court as to who is appointed as the executor of the estate.
Thank you. Anna Marie's question is, which date do we use on CIPC's BO? The date when the CC converted to company or the date when the CC was registered? Is that a question pertaining to you,
Okay.
Petro?
And now it's for beneficial ownership.
Okay. Anna Marie, please email the beneficial ownership division with that question. Let's see David's question. I would like to change a natural member of the CC and add a trust as a member. What is required of me and how do I go about?
Okay, to appoint a trust, you would also need to submit this a CK2. You'll have to submit a manual CK2 form, and the um, proof of transfer must be attached. Certified ID copies of the members and the representative trustee. And then there's 4 documents that's required for a trust to be appointed as a member. It's the letter of authority issued by the Master of the High Court, a power of attorney appointing one of the trustees as the representative trustee, then a letter by the trustee um, uh, confirming the details of the trust. So it would be the name and number of the trust, the address of the trust, the names of the trustees, and the names of all the beneficiaries of the trust, and a copy of the sections of the trust deed that defines the beneficiaries of the trust. This information is also available on our website.
Thank you. Karina Motley's question is, how far back can you go to do a member change? For example, the resolution was done on the 1st of March 2025, but, but has not been filed on the CIPC.
Okay, so in terms of the CC's Act, a change must be submitted within 28 days. But we do accept if a CK2 wasn't submitted, you can still submit even if it was the change was made on 1st of March 2025, you can still submit the documents, and we will process it.
Okay. Aniki's question is, what do we do when a member or director dies?
Okay, so for a member of a CC, It is the letter of executorship that must be submitted together with the certified ID copy of the executor. And as I've explained a little bit earlier, and then a manual CK2 or an e-services CK2 can be submitted to make the changes. But the
Okay.
responsibility lies with the executor to transfer the member's interest.
Okay. I think, Anushka, that also answers your question. Um, our next question, will there be a recording of this webinar? This webinar, if you have registered on the platform for this webinar, if you have registered for this webinar and have completed the registration process, you will get a link of the recordings as well as the presentation. It will be emailed directly to you. However, if you are viewing this presentation through any other platforms, then you would be able to access the presentation on this chat. We have uploaded the presentation, I think, twice already on this chat. So um, please download the presentation from this chat. Okay, Chantel, how do we remove a member who has passed away without a death certificate?
Okay, so for a CC member amendment, we do not require a death certificate. We need the letter of executorship issued by the Master of High Court. We don't require the death certificate of the member.
Okay, that's your answer, Chantel. The next question is estate transfer. What are the supporting documents to be lodged?
Okay, so again, it's the letter of executorship that must be attached, the executor's ID, the proof of transfer, which must be signed by the executor and the person or persons who the membership is being transferred to, and the CK2 must be submitted for the changes, and it can be done manually or um, on e-services. So on e-services, you will capture the changes and you will receive a CK2 generated by the system that you have to submit for processing.
Thank you. Tandy's question is in order to manually amend a member's details, what supporting documents are needed?
Okay, for e-services, CK2 and manual CK2, the supporting documents will be the same. It's just the type of the form, the format of the form that you submit that is different. So to for member amendment, you need to submit the CK2 signed by all the members, the certified ID copies of all the members. If you submit if you submit a document manually, you have to attach the certified ID copy of the applicant. The proof of transfer of members' interest is needed if you if there's members transferring members' interest. But if the members are only changing their addresses or they are updating their contact details on the e-services, you do not need to submit a resolution or because there's no transfer of members' interest taking place.
Thank you. Aniki wants to know, can all this be done on the new online systems or can it still be done manually?
Okay, CK2s can still be submitted manually. And please also remember that you cannot use direct amendments to submit changes for member amendments. You have to go. It's still done on the old e-services.
Okay, Yolanda, that has also answered your question. David's question, I have an issue with one of my clients. One member is deceased and the other member cannot get hold of the deceased member's family to get the death certificate. All the numbers are no longer accessible. How can we remove this member?
Okay.
I,
So,
you may
yes,
proceed.
Shani. Okay. So to remove the deceased member or transfer the member's interest of the deceased member, you'll need the executor to sign the documents and provide the supporting documents. If you cannot get hold of the executor to transfer the member's interest, the only way will be to get a court order to transfer the member's interest.
Thank you. I'm sure that answers David's question. Warren Charles want to know, I captured a member's name incorrectly on a CK2 change. How do I fix that? So
Okay, so
he
you'll have to
captured.
submit.
You may continue.
Sorry. Yes, I saw he said he captured James instead of James.
James,
So you
yes.
have to submit a CK2 again to correct the spelling of the name, please. So the easiest way will be to submit an e-services CK2, and then you only need to submit to attach the certified ID copy of all the members as
Okay. So
supporting document.
okay, so he must add all the members' ID.
Yes, when you do a CC member amendment, um, we always require all the members to sign the CK2 and all the members' certified ID copies are required.
Thank you for that clarity. Chantel's question is, we only have an executor to an estate if the member has an estate to be worn up. If it was a dormant CC, then how do you do it?
Okay, so the executor, the Master of the High Court will appoint the executor in a case where the member didn't have any assets. Then the master will still appoint a person who can deal with the membership, um, transfer of the membership held by that person in the CC. And the master of the High Court will submit issue a document that gives that person permission to deal with the membership in the CC. So we do not look at whether a CC is dormant or not. The requirement is that the executor must transfer the members' interest.
Thank you. Okay, Chantel, that has answered your part of the question. And Thea's question is, okay, and Thea has two questions, right? Why is it
Okay.
required for a witness to sign the resolution? And the second part of the
Okay.
question is, why are we required to submit certified copies of resolution when all the documents are original when submitted membership amendments to CIPC?
Okay. So we require the witness to sign the resolution because we issued a notice in on 12 August 2024 where we require that the witness must also sign the proof of transfer of members' interest. And then we do not require for the certificate, the proof of transfer to be certified. You can submit the documents as you have scanned it, but you have to keep the original documents. If CIPC should ask you for the documents, you'll have to have the original documents at hand.
Okay. Our next question is from Wanda. How should we proceed if the CC member cannot be reached and state that they resigned but did not sign any formal resignation documents?
Okay, so in a CC, if you cannot get hold of the members, the only way to transfer the members' interest of that person would be by obtaining a court order.
Okay. So if a person, you want to remove a member of a CC, you have to get a court order if they do not sign a resignation form.
Y- Yes, they are required to sign the CK2 form
Yeah.
and to provide the supporting documents. If they cannot sign, for any reason, not sign the CK2, or they perhaps refuse, the members do not agree, and the member refuse to sign the CK2, then a court order has to be obtained.
Okay. Let's see what Quas's question is. CC registered in 2005 with 4 members. I am the only member willing to reinstate, tried for years to engage other members. How to amend the situation?
Okay, so I cannot advise on the reinstatement process, but for CK2, you'll have to uh, get all the members to sign the CK2 form if you want to make changes. So no changes on the CC. You won't be able to make changes on the CC. For example, if you're the only one that wants to continue, you will still need the other 3 members to transfer the members' interest after the CC was reinstated. So yeah, you need all the members to agree to the changes.
Is there a solution for when the members do not want to sign? For example, Quas
So
cannot get hold of any of the other members, or they refuse to sign the CK document. Is there a solution for Quas?
the solution will be to get a court order. But if
Okay.
he has if the CC was deregistered, like he says, he wants to reinstate the CC. He also has the option to register a new company instead of reinstating, because all the members do not agree on reinstating the CC.
And when you reinstate, or when you open up a new company, um, he can do it as an individual, and he doesn't need the other 3 members to be part of it. Am I correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Our next question is, what do we do when a member is deceased in the United Kingdom many years ago and we cannot get anybody to sign on his behalf? We have managed to obtain a copy of the letter of executorship. Can we use that
Okay.
letter?
The letter of executorship is needed, but the executor will be required to sign the CK2 and the proof of transfer, and also provide his or her certified ID copy or passport copy if it's a foreigner.
Okay. Angie's question is, why is it that when we do member amendments, when we open the process on e-services, all the particulars of the members are empty? Can you
No,
answer
I'm
that
not sure about
question?
that. I'm not sure
Angie,
about
please
that,
send us
Angie.
an email so that we can send it to the IT division so they can have a look at that, please. Um,
Okay, Shani, I will put my email address in the chat. If there's any questions about the CC amendment process, or they have uh, problems with IT, they can send me an email.
okay, that is great. Okay, our next question is, do you need to submit the CK2 member amendments document with the CK2 amended founding statement when submitting the amendments manually?
Okay,
Must I
I'm
repeat
not
that question?
100% sure, but the member CK2, yes, you can please repeat the question, Shani.
Okay, it's Cecile. Hi, Petro. Do you need to submit the CK2 members amendment document when the CK2 amended founding statement when submitting the manual amendments manually? So when you're submitting it manually, she wants to know whether you have to include the CK2 members amendment documents together with the founding statement.
Okay, so the CK2 form is the amended founding statement. So you would need to require to submit the CK2, the manual CK2 form, and also then the proof of transfer, where the members have agreed on the changes. They transferred the members' interest, and then the certified ID copies of all the members.
Thank you.
Yeah, that.
Uh, this question is, how do I generate a CK1 or CM2?
Okay, the CK1 is the founding statement of the CC. If you need a copy of that, you need to send an email to the disclosures unit to request a copy of that.
Thank you. Um, Debbie wants to know if a ID copy expires. Yes, Debbie, it expires. Your certified copy of your ID or any documents must not be older than 3 months. Am I correct, Petro?
Yes, you're correct, Shani.
Okay. Chantel is they don't issue anything if there's no estate.
Okay, so the Master of the High Court will issue a document that provides us with the name of a person that um, will be then transfer the member's interest. Because in the Act, it's clear that the executor of the estate, so we need a confirmation from the Master of the High Court of who can transfer the member's interest of that the deceased member.
Thank you. Our next question is to Debbie's. Um, okay, she answered a question. Thank you, Larato, for the answer. Our next question is, after reinstatement of a company has been processed, approved, and annual returns paid as well as a BO, is it normal that the new certificate of the company will have information on steps of communication by CIPC prior to deregistration till reinstatement? Bongani, I
Okay.
think this question is not for us. I think it's for the reinstatement unit. Am I correct?
Yes, you're correct,
Okay.
Shani.
Our next question from Anthea is, thank you for the responses. The automated email received from the CIPC states that certified resolutions are required. I will contact them and request that they be revised. Okay, let's look at our next question. Shani Grunewald, can CK2 be signed electronically? Are there any specific requirements for electronic signatures?
Yes, a CK2 can be signed electronically. If it's signed electronically, we'd need the audit trail or the certificate of completion to be attached. We do not accept a typed signature for where the member has just typed it, the signature. It must be an authentic um, uh, electronic signature with the audit trail. Then we will accept it.
Thank you, Petro. Deline wants to know, how do we remove a member if we cannot get hold of him?
Okay, then the only option will be to get for the CC to obtain a court order.
And Wanda wants to know, if the member did not refuse to sign, the other members cannot get hold of the member that resigned. Is a court order still required?
Yes, a court order is still required.
Larato wants to know, how do we know that each member owned based on the percentage in the company? How do we know that each member owned based on the percentage in the company? I think, Clarata, you need to just rephrase your question. I'm not certain what you're actually asking of us. Let's go to the next questions. Members contributed capital is not reflected when doing the BO. Why is this and how can it be fixed? That's another question that's not for us. Am I
Okay.
correct, Petro?
Yes. It's
Sabria, please.
beneficial ownership.
Yeah, Sabria, please email the beneficial ownership division for that question. And Deline's question is, we have a client with a CC on which two members are deceased, but there were no estate. Thus, we are unable to obtain letters of executorship on both. How do we remove them? Via court order only.
Yes, you can still ask from the Master of the High Court if they can uh, give permission to a person to be transfer the members' interest of the deceased members. But if you are not successful, then you'll have to obtain a court order.
Okay. Stephen wants to know, where do we send all this required documents? I assume
Okay.
he's talking
Manual.
about CC amendments.
Yes, so the CK2 manual CK2 documents are sent to manual CK2 at cipc.co.za, and e-services documents are sent to e-services CK2 at cipc.co.za.
Thank you. Petra will write the email address for you, Stephen, so that you'll be
Okay.
able to have them. Francois' question, is it possible to rename a CC after reinstating and submitting all annual returns and BO? Is that a question you can answer for us, Petro?
Yes, the CK, the um, a CC can change its name. They also submit a CK2 document together with the approved name reservation and the certified ID copies of all the members. So all the information on the CK2 must be completed and all the members must sign the CK2. It's also sent to the manual CK2 email box.
Thank you. Elsie's question is, when we're submitting the member changes, we were asked to submit a member transfer form with witnesses also signing and the full names and IDs of the witnesses. Why? I think you have answered that question, but please um, give Elsie an answer again.
Okay, so we need the proof of transfer um, signed by by a witness, and the witness must indicate his full names and surname or name and surname, but we do not request the ID number of the witness and or the certified ID copy of the witness.
Okay. If a director for a CC wants to change the CC name, is it possible to do it and what are the required documents?
Yes, the manual CK2 form is required with an approved name reservation and the certified ID copies of the members and the customer code owner. So that
Okay. Cecile wants to know, I was referring to the CK2 amendment generated on CIPC. I want to know if this document is needed when all the other with all the other documents. The members sign the resolution, so why do we need to generate a CK2 member amendment if we submit the CK2 amended founding statement with all the other relevant documents? Is that because
Okay,
it's a
so
requirement of the CIPC?
yes, the prescribed form is a CK2 form. So you either choose to do a CK2, a manual CK2, or the electronic CK2. So you don't have to complete both manual CK2 and e-services CK2. If you captured the changes on the website and the CK2 has been generated, then the members can sign the CK2 and it can be submitted for processing. You don't need to also attach the manual amended founding statement.
Okay.
I hope that answers the question.
Um, there's the next question is, can I update members' passport details if it has expired through the CIPC e-services?
Yes, the passport details can be updated. So just be sure to use the CC member amendments option on e-services.
Thank
And
you.
don't try to do it on the director amendments, and you do not need to do the foreigner assurance process.
Okay, that helps. Our next question from Tandy is, uh, you just confirmed that you do accept the electronic signature. However, CIPC rejected the CK2 manual submission with the electronic signature. Is it not the same as a signature on the on the South African ID card? Which does the application of the amendment gets? Why does the application of the amendments get rejected?
Okay. Dandiwe, can you please send me an email with the information and then I can look at the application? It could be that it is that the certificate of completion or the audit trail wasn't attached and it was that it looked like a typed signature that was used. But if you send me the details, then I can look at the application and give you feedback.
Okay, Chantal is going to directly ask you any questions as she feels that her questions are case by case scenario. Please, you are
Yeah.
welcome to contact Petro directly or lodge a query on the CIPC through the call center. Okay, that's all the thank yous. Deline wants to know how and who is authorized to obtain a court order.
No, unfortunately, I cannot advise on how to obtain a court order or who is authorized to obtain a court order.
Okay, Chantal is just answering Tandy's question. Deline wants to know how do we change the email address and I assume that word is cell phone number on the CK2.
Okay, so to change the email address and cell phone number, you have to submit an e-services CK2. We cannot do it when you submit a manual CK2 for processing.
Thank you. When resigning a trust as a member, what is the required supporting document?
And so we would require the proof of transfer, which shows that the trust is transferring its members' interest to the other party. And then we would require a letter signed by all the trustees to confirm that the trust now ceases to be a member, that they are transferring their members' interest. So the letter must be signed by all the trustees. And then the certified ID copies of the members and uh, the representative trustee of the trust.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
Debbie said, how do we get a court order? Is there a website to schedule Master of a High Court?
yeah. Unfortunately, I cannot advise on how to get a court order. I'm sorry.
Okay, Debbie. I think that yes, that has brought us to the end of all our questions. Um, Petro, is there anything that you would like us to answer or explain? Would you like to explain anything uh, before we close?
No, not that I can think of, Shani.
Okay. Our last question over here is: can I change all the assets of a deceased with the CK2?
Um, you submit the electronic CK2 signed by all the members, the certified ID copies of the members, and then if there was a transfer of members' interest, you also have to attach the document with for the transfer of members' interest that was signed by the parties involved in the transfer and a witness.
Okay. I see Gresham has answered Deline's question. She will need to get an attorney to assist with the court order. Um, Yolanda wants to know when updating the passport, what are the documents that are needed on e-services?
Okay, so you need to attach the signed CK2 document. CK2 document must be signed by all the members, and then the certified passport copy, the new passport copy, and the certified ID copies or passport copies of the other members. That is all that would be required.
Okay, this concludes today's webinar. On behalf of CIPC, we thank you for your participation and engagement. We trust that the information shared was of value. I can see that with the interaction that we received. And participants are reminded that the Learn IBIS e-learning director program is available on the CIPC website. Thank you, Petro, for the informative presentation and the answering of the questions. Thank you all for attending. Goodbye.